arts, lifestyle. SNS Online.
The men who call you by your last name are usually the ones that say you're like a brother to them and that they've known you for a lot longer than they actually have. They say they feel sorry for you for not having a father figure in your life, like they could be one. They say they'll do anything for you, but not that. They say that they miss you after they've been drinking a little bit and to come over. And I do. I'm Toland when they want me to be. I know exactly who that is.
Hello and welcome to SNS Online. Pretty Good Not Bad is a new one-woman play exploring the seismic fallout of a sexual assault and is going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival after an early successful run in New York. The show explores flight, fight or fawning, victimhood and the societal expectations surrounding it, narrative control and self-exploitation for personal gain. A lot to unpack, so let's chat to writer and performer Ellen Toland. Hello Ellen and welcome to SNS Online. If it's not too triggering, could you tell us what it was about a violent assault that inspired you to write and perform a play about it for the Fringe?
Well, first off, hi Nick.
Hello. Hello.
I don't know. I always found it really interesting as an actor when you're in a class or before you're about to shoot something. They say use your life, use your life to really tap into it.
Yes.
And this time, because I had this experience, it made all these true crime auditions ring a different bell for me artistically.
Yeah. So just to explain that you're an actor and obviously you're going to auditions quite a lot and you connected the two.
Yeah, I connected the two, and it's a weird thing because there's a line between what is authentic and then what is just gross,
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of spurred the play for me, is asking all those questions of what do you use for entertainment and what do you use that's just for your own processing,
Absolutely.
as your own.
And you obviously dug very deep, and I guess it must have been painful. I mean, could you be able to tell us a little bit about what actually happened without it being too upsetting for you?
Yeah, of course. It's about 2 years ago, I was walking home from a friend's play, and I, unbeknownst, was being stalked. And I was walking into my apartment building, and I was assaulted by a man in a ski mask. And luckily, I got away from him. But yeah, so it's about, my play is about that, but it's also about all the fallout afterward. I found when I was watching a lot of these procedurals that that aspect of the story wasn't really magnified.
Authentic, yeah.
Yeah. And so I felt like that was some of the most interesting stuff, going into the district attorney's office and all the interactions with the detectives and your friends and your family and how they react to things like this.
Because you would have thought, I mean, possibly some of your friends and close family, you might give them pain by telling them a little bit too much information about what you had to go through. I mean, did you struggle with what you told different people?
Yeah, and it all, I think that's the through line too, is it all feels like a strange performance for people, because here they are trying to comfort you in something that's terrible. But I think this happens with anything traumatic. But intuitively, as the victim of something like this, you want to make people feel more comfortable within within your own trauma. So it's this funny thing where you're doing a song and dance for them.
Yes.
In it.
I know exactly what you mean. So you talk about fight or flight or fawning. Now, fight or flight we either sort of fight it out or we run for our lives. But fawning, could you explain fawning?
So fawning is a trauma response that I didn't really know much about until obviously a lot of therapy. But I found out that that's my trauma response so when I saw the ski mask man in my hallway, the first thing I said to him was hi, because I thought I could change his mind.
Yeah.
That if he would see me as this person that was friendly and not judging him for being in a ski mask in my hallway.
It might have sobered him up. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Could have done.
Yeah.
Could have worked.
Yeah, and I swear, I mean, still to this day, I think there was a moment where he almost, I don't know, changed his mind. But yeah, so that's an example of fawning. But I think particularly women have this ingrained in us as a way of navigating the world. I think right now, society is really obsessed with what is authentic. And so we especially artists are mining our own traumas to use them for our work. And I think there's a fine line between using these things that happen to us for entertainment or for, I don't know, fame or whatever. I think it's just a fine line. It's like, I'm not trying to say we shouldn't use it, but I am questioning the mode of it, you know.
Okay. Is there a part of you that perhaps feels a little bit guilty about using this? I mean, it is something that happened to you, so why can't you use it? You know, and it might help other people.
No, I mean, when I look at it in like a way that if it helps anyone in an audience feel more comfortable with whatever they've experienced, sure, that feels great. But I think it's more I don't know. I in the play, I really am not trying to answer anything. I'm more just trying to ask questions about it all, because it's stuff that, you know, like in the past, I've had meetings with representation and stuff before where they're like, what's going to be your thing, you know? And I don't know, I see that a lot with entertainers where it's like, that becomes their identity, is like either something that happened to them or, you know, and I don't think always they want it to be the forefront of them artistically. Hopefully, if that makes any sense.
No, it totally does. And hopefully things are evolving. So, you know, we don't have to sort of put ourselves in boxes like that, you know, because I mean, we ebb and flow like the tides. We are human beings. Has writing this piece helped to empower you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I really never thought of myself as a writer, and now I'm really interested in exploring that more so after this. And I think it's given me some autonomy that I didn't have as just an actor, you know. I think people see you differently when you're also a creator. It feels like a very Gen Z way of saying it, but it is true. It's
also great therapy for you, I would have thought, you know, working it all through like that and producing something positive out of it. I mean, creating art from your pain.
I don't think I was really aware of it being therapeutic or cathartic. And then now that I've performed it a couple of times in New York, I'm like, oh, this is changing aspects, because there's the play version of this and then there's the reality version, and they kind of start to morph into each other.
Yeah, blurring reality and fiction. Do you feel this piece speaks to anyone and everyone? I mean, including any potential attackers, and helps to ultimately get a peaceful message across? Or you haven't got to that stage?
I don't know if it reaches them, but I think it has. I mean, the response I've gotten so far has been overwhelming and really beautiful. I've gotten so many messages from mostly women, but also men.
Good.
Yeah, so I feel like that wasn't my intention, but I think it is speaking to people. So I'm excited to get it into
Absolutely.
the UK and see what the UK audience
Your
thinks.
first time at the Fringe, then?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, you must be so excited. Yeah, absolutely. Where are you performing it? Give us some details.
We're at the Space. For the first week, we're at the Stephenson Theatre in the Royal Mile. And then the second week, we are at the Haldane Theatre. We're at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So we need you to bring your coffee and come and watch a true crime.
I was going to ask you, what would you say to your attacker if you could meet him properly now in a safe environment, having written this play?
Man, I don't know. It's funny. I'm not really like. I don't have the same level of like anger towards him. It's more, I think I just ask why. Yeah. I think that would be it.
Yeah. Ellen, thank you so much for talking to us today, and the very, very best of luck with the run. Pretty good, not bad.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Nick.